Iko Nini. So kuna hii video moja nilikuwa na watch and the video was ilikuwa ni wasi wa bodaboda wakitoka kwa State House and wakitoka walianza kuchant two term na vitu kama hizo and wacha tucheki video. So unatekia say and wako pale State House wana do two term and most probably ukiwa mtaani na kama unachukia Ruto, the first thing that will come to mind utafeel wamekubetray and you're within your rights to feel that way, but then there's another way to look at it, and the other way to look at it would be look at these people who had nothing before they went there na wamepata pikipiki. Omse anachukua hii pikipiki ita change life yake, and in the process anaweza baki amethink afikirie niaje, Uhuru never did this for me but this one guy has done this for me, so because no politician has ever done something for me, I don't care that this money has come from the taxpayer's pocket, but at least this time it's come into my pocket. And the danger that happens na sisi saa hizi, a lot of us never want to look at anything from someone else's perspective. So the minute that you see this, what you see is a traitor, and apart from a traitor, what you see is someone you should hate. And in the process, as you dwell in your perfection, kitu unafanya ni you end up alienating yourself, and you end up making people look at you differently and look at the enemy also differently. So unaweza chekea say kulikuwa pia na the video still kiendelea, unabaki umechiki sasa wakitoka State House na wakitoka kwa hiyo gate, and I can say like State House Kenya si kama ati maybe tunaweza sema White House America or even I don't know ka Britain kwa 10th Street ama Buckingham Palace, pia 10th Street ndio kwa Prime Minister, I don't know kama inaitwa kwa 10th Street. The difference is the Kenyan one is so mysterious that only a few people get to go in there. So said vile this time ali open up those gates for some random Kenyans, he ended up scoring a lot of political points. Kwa umesikizaga Iko Nini for some time, umesikiaga nikisema shida ya politics ni inakuwaga an emotional game. Wasofikiri ni logic, but it's always about emotions. It's who can play with the strings of my heart. Wacha tucheki vila waswali toka kwa sasa hii ni wakiride out from State House. So kitekea say hii 10 bila break, 2 terms siku zote, and such, as I keep saying, I'm sure kwa uko mtaani na unachukia ule msee utakuwa umejam hasa amekubetray hasa amenini, but kwa wase ni finally I have something that I can use to make a living. And kitu moja imekuwa ikinijaz na siku hizi ni everyone is so perfect that everyone believes that given the same opportunities they did not act the same way, and this is where you end up losing, because the minute that unajiput kwa pedestal fulani. Tutakam to the Democrats wa US, but wacha tumalizie hii. So metik hii gate A specifically vile nakwambia hii kwa gate ya raya za kawaida. So this was some political points being scored, and unaweza kuona shindwa kwa nini na bonga juu ya hii story. Na bonga juu hii story cause Kenya, one of the things that a lot of us have to realize is Kenya politics has always been a game of handouts. And as a result, a lot of Kenyans believe that handouts is the only way to success. Handouts is the only way to financial freedom. So with that in mind, anyone who's coming with an idea that, you know what, I'm going to create jobs, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, the average Kenyan does not care. They just want, we nipatie handout ya leo, nibaki nimedishi leo, hii story ingine yako ni kesho. So now hii handout ya pikipiki, it's a tricky handout because it's a handout that still, if the person has gotten the handout decides to use it in a good way, they can end up at least surviving. Najua there's a difference between living and surviving. Kauja watch ile video tulifanya na ule mso wa sport pesa na kunga nikimwambia like you have a chance to live, some of us but tuna survive. And yeah, so this is what happened. And what ended up happening, I think after us say watoke hivi, I think another day walibaki wameenda, most probably this other day walikuwa wamelipwa, but sasa ijalishi, but walibaki wameenda kwa ni bunge la wananchi. Acha tucheki. Just try and imagine a month ago, would this have been possible? So you might be wondering, what is Mwafrika all about? Of course, kama uko emotional, unataka nikwambie kile unataka kusikia, au ungetaka nikwambie kitu inamaanisha nothing, these people have been paid. When the day of voting comes, they are going to vote the way we all want them to vote. But kuna ngoma moja ya Bob Marley uitangwa Natural Mystic. Bob Marley usemanga there is a natural mystic blowing through the air. If you listen carefully now, you will hear. Alafu at some point usemanga many more will have to suffer, many more will have to die. Don't ask me why. Things are not the way they used to be. And that's what's happening. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. And there's a lot of people who want change. But if you listen carefully, now you will hear. Many more will have to suffer, many more will have to die. This guy won't change overnight. The abductions will still continue. I still expect the police killings to bado continue. But the worst thing about nature ni kuna kuwaga na history ya number 1 ni self-preservation, alafu number 2 ni survival of the fittest. So ukiangalia self-preservation, a lot of people will always put themselves ahead of everyone else. So mtu kama huyu akipata pikipiki, automatically wife wake anaenda up akiwa 2 term. Unacheki. So you end up with all these people. Because utapata wanaambiwa, iki tunajua the next government ikikuja, Matiang'i akiingia tu hivi atakama wachukue hizi pikipiki zenyu. Of course, it's not the truth. But if they end up believing that. But now, how can we win these people over? If we were to try to win them over, number 1 would be, we should not call them traitors. No one has betrayed you. You're an individual. This person is an individual. They have 1 vote, you have 1 vote. They've not betrayed you. In a democracy, people are not supposed to all reason in the same way. So when we start from that base, no one has betrayed you, it means that we start becoming less emotional. After that, we also need to get off our high horse, like an equestrian. We need to get off our high horse. There's a lot of people on their high horses. A lot of people who believe, kuna majuzi mse ametag, kuna buda fulani alikata kuchukua job. And mse fulani akanitag. You go like, Mwaf cheki, ubuda amekata hii job, but Kasmuel took the ODM thing. And I remember telling him, like, Kasmuel is a young dude. He's in his 20s. This other dude, ulikata, you go in his 50s. You can't compare the two. This one dude in his 20s has a whole life ahead of him. And in this whole life, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to do what? He's going to do what? He's going to see chances. And the last thing that you want to do is to live with regrets. And I always say that personally, like, regrets zinakuwaga good lessons, but they're also painful lessons. Like, one of my biggest regrets, if you've listened to Iko Nini long enough, ushasikiaga nikisema, is the way I quit Ghetto Radio. And the reason why I say that is when I left that fateful morning, I think it was July 13th. Yes, Jaisahau, July 13th, 2010. When I left home that fateful morning, I had not planned to quit, I had not planned to resign. So I ended up resigning because of an emotional moment. And there's a point where I think I went through such a rough financial patch that I used to wonder and be like, what the fuck did I quit? And with that in mind, I ended up learning that I'll never judge any man who decides to earn a living and survive instead of doing things the way I want them to do things. And this is what's happening right now. Right now, kumekuwa na a lot of it's either my way or the highway. And this has come courtesy of part of the Gen Z movement. It's these very perfect human beings who've never made a mistake in their life, who are very, very clean, who everyone else is bullshit except them. And this is the same thing that happened with the Democratic Party. Kuna wase wengi sana hapa Kenya au sifuge Trump, and they know very little about why Trump won. Trump won because Democrats were too perfect. They were too perfect. And every little mistake you made, you are being cancelled. Nachiki the cancel culture that's happening with the movement right now. Ileta tusiende mbali. Saizi niko hapa kwa comments na canceliwa. Upsi amelipwa. Kuna vile atasema ati Ruto ameanza kupendwa. Amelipwa. Mimi kwambia Ruto ameanza kupendwa. What I'm telling you is we need to change our tact. Our tact can't be that anyone who supports this guy, we even hate that person. And then our tact can't be just screaming one term. Lazima ikuwe like, what is this alternative leadership that we are looking at? And is the alternative leadership that we are looking at doing the right thing? Till now, if you ask me, I'm still Team Maraga, but Maraga is not doing the right thing. This town hall meetings, they would cut it. Maraga needs to kuruka juu ya Prado na kufungua ile sun rooftop and to talk to people. Mvua imnyeshe, isimnyeshe, that's the price you have to pay. And if you're not ready to pay that price, you have to know that these old school politicians are ready to pay that price. And they'll keep paying that price. So you end up with this very funny situation whereby you have a lot of credible, a lot of politicians with integrity, but they're never ready to go the extra mile. And that's how to end up. So yes, if you're to ask me right now, I'd say that anyone who wants this Ruto guy gone needs to be worried, because things might just end up. 2 years in politics is a very long time. And I think maybe, I don't know if we started too early. Like if these protests had started in 2020, what? 2024 zingeanza 2026, for example, this guy would be gone. But saizi ukiniuliza, I don't know. Is he going to come back? Is he not going to come back? I don't know. Najua, he might just slither his way back. And how might he slither his way back? Even so, the impunity and the bullshit continues. I think niliona place fulani SGL kwa Homa Bay, and it's his daughter who's presenting. And I'm there like, what the is your daughter doing in Homa Bay? She's not from Homa Bay. Why is she presenting something there? Okay, I don't know what was happening there. Iko Nini. So nimeinterrupt show kukuremind juu ya LemFi, na unajua LemFi inakupatiaga an opportunity, especially kwa huko masaids za US, kubaki umetumia pesa Kenya haraka na usisahau transactions zinakuwaga free. Lakini saizi kitu moja ile nimenotice, kuna wasee wengi sana wale wako states wale wame sign up to LemFi, lakini jo bado hamja transact jo. That first transaction jo baki umeifanya, make sure umetransact at least $100, ndio baki umepata $20 cashback. Alafu pia sisi kama IKONINI tubaki tumepata $20 from your deal. Alafu pia usisahau kuwa saa hizi jo LemFi inakupatia an opportunity ya kutuma pesa Kenya, lakini kama uko US and you need support, and pia unaweza baki umetumiwa pesa from Kenya to the US through LemFi. Alafu pia mkiwa masaiti za states, na nyinyi wote wawili mko na LemFi, mzabaki umetumia na pesa. Unajua si lazima mtumie ile nyingine siju ya huko. Tumia tu yetu ya mtaa, LemFi to LemFi hapo haraka. Alafu vile pia musemaga siku hizi kuna vile mzabaki umelipa till number, na pia mzabaki umelipa pay bill direct. So tuseme you're doing like this construction project, and you need to deposit do kwa bank account fulani, na uko na pay bill ama a certain company and you have the pay bill, you can just do that through LemFi. Then upatie raya fulani, alafu since uko states ya kucheza jo. So unangoja nini jo? Changamka haraka. Baki umefanya that first transaction kutumia LemFi. Usahau ni promo code ni IKONINI. Your promo code ya IKONINI ndio inakupatia $20 cashback on your first transaction. LemFi, international payments for everyone. Wacha turudi kwa show. But yes, anajua kucheza the bullshit. And then as we look at that, of course lazima to look at the nemesis number one. So the nemesis number one wa Ruto of course ni ubuda anaitwa ubuda anaitwa Rigathi Gachagua. And Rigathi Gachagua ameamua kurudi ikikam to yani ameamua kurudi Kenya. So alikuwa release statement ko, I had a very successful and fulfilling visit to the United States of America with serious engagements with Kenyans in the diaspora. I regret being unable to visit the scheduled remaining states since I need to get back home to join our party, DCP, in preparation for the upcoming by-elections in various parts of our country. I'm sorry to cut my trip short. My profound apologies to the organizers and Kenyans whom I were to meet. The same has been rescheduled to early next year. I've taken a few days to rest before heading home, and as promised, my itinerary will be made public. I thank the Kenyans in the States for the love, warmth, and hospitality they accorded to us. I salute the organizers and officials of the DCP chapters for superb planning, organization, and meticulous coordination. You're simply the best. God bless you all, and God bless Kenya. Kuna shindo hiyo ni gani? Simply the best. Kwa watu wazee wanakumbuka. Nakumbukaga ile ilikuwa ni ever ready. Better than all the rest. And so ubuda anarudi, and vile anarudi, it's a good thing for him of course. Rudi kwa ground, start kupiga round zako, but the dramatization that's happening right now, ama the strategy ile wanataka kutumia, this is a strategy that I think niliwatch kwa Dr. Kingori's show. Ubuda anaitwa Lenjiro, alikuwa anabonga juu ya Matiba, like what happened in Matiba's homecoming. But now I'd relate this closer to what happened to ile time ya Raila ya baba while you away. And I think that's what us wa DCP wa ground wanataka kudu. But do I think it's a good idea? No, I don't. But wacha tusikize.
Thursday at 12 noon will be the return of our general, our beloved party leader, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua. I urge you, be there, stand firm, stand proud, and stand for Kenya. We ask our party members to start converging at JKIA from 6 a.m. in the morning. We will be there with song and dance to welcome our hero, our party leader, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua.
So, I don't think this is a good idea. Kile kina Murkomen wanaenda kusema is the airport is a protected area, and since the airport is a protected area, no one is allowed kukuja huko. When you say people should congregate there at 6 a.m., what are you trying to achieve? And you need to go back to Baba while you're away. A lot of people died. And I always remember there's this one guy who alikuwa na a jerrycan of water. And a few images later, kulikuwa na truck ya makarao ilikuwa ina burn. Alafu mse brains zake zilikuwa kwa floor. And this is it was so katikaga sana nikiwaambia that these killings used to happen time ya Uhuru. And they are going to continue happening even right now. So right now I don't think it's a good idea for this to happen. Yes, wacha Gachagua akuje. Hata kama anakuja tuseme wacha tungoje on Mombasa Road. Lakini tuseme tunaenda airport. Tukisema tunaenda airport, first of all travels our senses that were disrupted. Umsana kuja saa 6. You can try and imagine all those afternoon flights. All what. A lot of things. I think it's just kuja tu chini ya maji. Then tokea vile nilikuwa nasema toa kichwa pale Gikomba. Kila mtu anabaki amejaa hapo kwa kila mtu yule bado anachukia Kasongo, ataka kusikia nini inasemekana juu ya Kasongo. But if you decide to go to airport at kupick your leader, it's just going to be a problem, and a lot of people are going to lose lives, and I also expect a lot of people to lose property. But still, as kitu moja ile pia mwishi na kanikisema, like there's a time I got into a lot of trouble because yes, unajua kwa nini getting into a lot of trouble, and I'm going to get into a lot of trouble for this, because whatever this guy is saying, according to me, makes no political sense. So it's just pure bullshit. So what is he saying?
The regime was hatching a dangerous and cold-blooded plot. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki and Interior Minister Kipchumba Murkomen have shamelessly issued public threats to arrest His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua upon his arrival. Intelligence reaching us points to a scheme so evil, so cowardly, that it chills the soul. Their intent is to subject our party leader to slow and silent assassination by poisoning, the very same cruel method once inflicted on the late Kenneth Matiba.
So, right now, what would the government benefit from killing Gachagua, or poisoning Gachagua? Let's think about it. Okay, they want to win back the mountain. This would make the mountain more angry. Literally, this would have the counter effect. Okay, so no, there's nothing to gain. So since there's nothing to gain, this is just one of those inflammatory statements that makes no political sense. But wacha tuendelee.
While in state custody, this is not hearsay. It is a deliberate plot to silence the voice of the people of Kenya by physically destroying its leadership. Their plan upon our party leader's arrival at JKIA is to abduct, intimidate, brutalize, and eventually place him under house arrest, cut him off from his supporters, and deny him the right to address the nation.
If you abduct this guy, place him under house arrest, what's going to happen? The same thing. The mountain is going to erupt. No pun intended. And you're going to gain nothing politically. So is this going to happen? No. I know this government does very dumb shit. But hata hiyo story ya sijui kuja uandikishe statement at hii place inaitwa nini, kuja uandikishe statement at Kiambu DCI. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that's one of those things where Murkomen atasema alafu baadaye atambua tulia budaja. Ulishasema watandikwe risasi, one lege movement. They have started forgetting that. Don't bring another thing to make them remember that. So even up to hapo history ya a house detention, I also don't see it, because what will happen if this guy is house detained? Everyone will want to go to his house so that he talks to everyone, and that's going to cause chaos and more anti-government sentiment and more killings, and these killings are the ones that are going to remind people that this is not the right guy. Remember, since Sabasaba, kumekuwa na certain level of calm that has been there. Have Kenyans been dying? Yes, but Kenyans have been dying from road accidents. But remember, road accidents are not bad. You know, the only thing that's bad is police shootings. Road accident, who cares? Tukidai na road accident tunasema we love them but God loved them more. Sindio? Okay. Chatuendelee.
They want to kill his voice and his body at the same time. But let this be crystal clear. If they dare lay a hand on him, the country will grind to a halt. They did this during his impeachment. He responded by asking his supporters to stand down and protest by singing melodies. But this time round, let the plotters know that the song is different.
So during his impeachment, let's not rewrite history. During his impeachment, no one was calling for Rigathi not to be impeached. Everyone wanted Rigathi to be impeached alongside the president. Kufa dereva, kufa makanga. This guy became popular. Baadaye, najua, when now he was on the outside, that's when he became popular. But during his impeachment, people wanted both of them gone.
The rhythm is tougher, and we will turn into a cacophony of defiance. There comes a time when enough has to be enough.
Yes, there comes a time when enough has to be enough. So, do I believe that Gachagua is going to be poisoned? No, it makes no political sense, if you are to ask me. And these things have to make political sense. And right now, as things stand, poisoning this guy is just going to poison the mountain against the president. And the president, even if he is arrogant and corrupt, I don't think he's that dumb. He just knows, wacha nimwache. The worst thing about starting something early is sometimes people get tired of the message. You can look at one of our heroes, Morara. Why is Morara out of the game? Because it happened too soon. If Morara also had happened like late 2026, saizi angekuwa guaranteed of a seat, because that's how much I remember. Like aki stop katikati ya tao the first time he was arrested, I think, ama arraigned in court, alitoka katikati ya tao akatoka hapo tu juu ya sunroof and the whole Nairobi came to a standstill. So it shows you how much people will root for you, but up to a certain level. When you become too available, then najua naturally as humans they'll be like, wacha umse akuende. So yeah, so kuna hiyo that's that. But now wacha tuende Homa Bay kidogo, because tukiwa huko side za Homa Bay kuna bullshit fulani ile Raila alikuwa na drop huko Homa Bay. Wacha tusikize.
The governors have mentioned it, that governors serve the counties and they can serve 1 term, 2 terms. I've got a number of governors who have served 2 terms. In Parliament, we did an amendment so that any member of Parliament who serves 2 terms is automatically entitled to a pension. Why can we not do the same thing to the governors?
Also the Bambaga, like they always think of ways of using taxpayers' money for their own benefit. And even for those Raila fans, the one who get really pissed off when someone criticizes Raila, this is supposed to be a visionary leader. This is supposed to be a leader who thinks different. But this is still a leader who believes in taking away from the taxpayer. Why the fuck are we paying your pension? Because you served 2 terms. Fuck off. Most probably after the 2 terms you've stolen. Most of you mnatoka hapo mkiwa billionaires and you'll never be prosecuted. Mr. Renson Ingonga is not trying to prosecute you. Najua. He's trying to settle with you out of court. Uliiba ngapi? 2 billion. Give us 200 million and... Sawa? Okay. So, how is this supposed to be good for the taxpayer? Ikikuwa ni story na ugatuzi, we should be talking about things that are good for the Kenyan citizen. Like this is going to improve Kenyan lives by blah blah blah. Us giving pension to some random governors is not going to help Kenya in any simple way. And this is why the bullshit keeps bullshitting and Kenya just keeps being stuck in the same stupid whatever that we are stuck in. So yeah, hiyo ilikuwa some of the nonsense ile nibaki nimesikia kikapu hizo stories za devolution ugatuzi 2025. And yeah, good morning. Iko Nini.